Hello and welcome Business Central Insights users. In this video, we're going to walk through how to set up general ledger account categories in Business Central and why this setup is essential for accurate Power BI reporting using Business Central Insights. Many of our Power BI financial reports rely on general ledger account categories to correctly structure your balance sheet, income statement, and financial ratios. If these categories are missing or incomplete, some reports may show blank or incorrect values. General ledger account categories are a standard feature in Business Central. They allow you to group your general ledger accounts into meaningful standard financial categories such as assets, liabilities, equity, income, cost of goods sold, and expenses. These categories are not just for display. They are used by Power BI to understand the financial structure of your data and to calculate things like EBITDA, working capital, current and liquidity ratios. First, let's enter the GL account categories module and check if they've been configured. You can search for GL account categories and then open the page from there, or you can click Finance and then the GL account categories option here. If this is a new or lightly configured environment, you might see the default categories but no general ledger accounts assigned to them. That means the setup exists but is incomplete. On the right hand side, you will see a fact box showing GL accounts without category. If this is not empty, it means some accounts are not mapped and Power BI reports may be incomplete. You can now edit the list of categories using this button here. And you can rename the categories to match your financial structure by clicking inside the cell as so. You can add additional categories if you require using the new button. And then you can adjust the order and hierarchy using outdent, indent, move up, and move down. GL account categories are used to organize your general ledger into meaningful financial groupings that Business Central can use for reporting. Each GL account should be assigned to one of the main categories, such as assets, liabilities, equity, income, cost of goods sold, or expenses, as you can see here in this drop-down. These categories define the high-level structure of key financial statements like the balance sheet and income statement. In addition to categories, you can also create subcategories within the description column here. Subcategories allow you to add more detail within each main category and better reflect how your accounts are grouped internally. Unlike categories, subcategories are fully flexible and can be tailored to your reporting requirements. Both categories and subcategories can be assigned directly on the General Ledger Account Categories page, as I've just shown, or here also on the General Ledger Account card. The most important part of this setup is mapping your GL accounts to the appropriate categories and subcategories. This mapping tells Business Central how each account should be treated in financial reports and ensures that balances are included in the correct sections. You will allocate the ranges of specific general ledger account numbers that correspond to each of these rows. The double dots means between these accounts, so in this example between 2,900 and 2,990, and the pipe symbol allows you to add further groupings or single accounts. To assign within this General Ledger Account Categories page as opposed to the individual General Ledger Account card, then you can either directly input the account or range in the cell as so, or click on the three-dot menu in the cell and then select the account. You can use Control to add additional accounts, and then by holding Shift you can add multiple accounts. A good starting point is to open the chart of accounts in another tab and mirror the structure you already use there. You can keep it simple or make it more detailed depending on your reporting needs. Whatever matters most is that every general ledger account is assigned to a category and this without category box here is empty. If any accounts are left unassigned, Power BI reports may show blanks or incomplete totals. Until now, this is all standard Business Central settings. Now on to the Power BI element. You will notice there are account subcategory columns available with Power BI in brackets. Think of these as levels in a hierarchy. The first level in the first row, account categories, might be assets. The second level could be current assets, and the third level could break this down further. For example, liquid assets, receivables, inventory. They're all simply configurable using the drop downs in each cell. There are a few important rules to be aware of when working with account categories and subcategories. The account category field is a standard Business Central field and must be populated for every GL account. This is mandatory and forms the top level structure for all financial reporting. The account subcategory Power BI field should be populated for all rows except where the row represents a top level account category. This applies to the main categories such as assets, liabilities, equity, etc. The account subcategory 2 Power BI field is optional and should only be populated where applicable. If there is no suitable value available, it can be left blank. When left blank, it would automatically inherit the value from the previous level, which is the account subcategory. You can see an example of this under equity, where accounts such as dividends do not have a meaningful second subcategory. These two additional subcategory columns are used specifically for Power BI calculations. They are all standard accounting classifications and are used to ensure financial ratios and KPIs are calculated correctly. For example, EBITDA, working capital, current ratio, quick ratio. Even if you rename categories in your reporting structure, these mappings allow Power BI to still understand what each account represents. Just to recap, a few best practices to keep in mind. Ensure every GL account has a category. Keep the structure logical and consistent. Align categories with how finance users expect to see reports, and do not overcomplicate the structure initially. You can refine it later. In most cases, this setup can be completed in 1 or 2 hours. Once your GL account categories are fully mapped, your Power BI reports in Business Central Insights will immediately reflect the correct financial structure. This ensures the financial statements, totals, and KPIs are calculated and presented accurately. If you are not using the financial reporting module within Business Central, you can still generate standard financial reports directly from the GL account categories page by using the Generate Financial Reports action here. When you select Generate Financial Reports, Business Central will automatically create a set of standard reports based on your configuration. This includes income statement, balance sheets, and cash flow statements. Before generating the reports, it is important to review and complete the additional report definition column here. These selections are used during the Generate Financial Reports process to automatically build the cash flow statement. Once this column is populated correctly, selecting Generate Financial Reports will create all standard financial reports, including a correctly structured cash flow statement without any manual report building. This provides a quick and reliable way to get usable financial reports in Business Central while also ensuring your Power BI reports are aligned to the same underlying financial structure. We have a video tutorial for financial reporting on our tutorials page as well, which I would recommend viewing also. Important to note, if you have multiple companies, you must create the same structure of general ledger accounts in all companies. For consolidation purposes, it is very important that the hierarchy of categories, order of categories, and category names are identical in all companies. If the categories do not match between companies, the consolidation report might show duplicated lines. So that's the end of this quick walkthrough. To summarize, setting up general ledger account categories correctly gives you more accurate financial statements in Power BI, consistent reporting across companies and environments, and trusted numbers across the business whenever you need them. Most importantly, it ensures that key financial KPIs and ratios such as EBITDA, working capital, and liquidity are calculated reliably and consistently. Taking the time to get this set up right creates a single, trusted financial structure that Business Central and Power BI can both rely on, reducing confusion, eliminating duplicated lines, and giving finance teams confidence in their numbers. I hope this helps with your general ledger configuration, because the clearer the categories, the clearer the insight. Thanks very much for watching and have a lovely day.